I don't want to be my autistic brother caregiver. I'm 22 just going to rant about my mom and me. We don't have the best relationship, and we barely talk to each other. The only time she talks to me is when she wants me to do something or take care of my older autistic brother, whom we'll call Jack. My mom and I have been arguing all week because she wants me to be Jack's caregiver in case something happens to her. I told her no because I don't think I'm cut out for that role. I suggested getting someone professional or a program to help instead. However, in my head, I've been thinking that I've been taking care of people my whole life, and now I want to start my own family and get married. The other day, someone asked me why I don't have a girlfriend, and I told them that I'm still immature and working on myself for a relationship, so no, I'm not talking to anyone. Also, I want to figure out my life right now. I'm in college, a junior majoring in computer science. To put it nicely, I lack communication skills and get shy a lot, so I've been pushing myself to go out more. This week, I even started salsa dance classes to help me. Also looking for an internship. Additionally, I have a part-time job helping my blind aunt, taking her to doctor's appointments. She needs a new kidney. I also have a full-time job working the third shift, which my mom doesn't know about, along with helping my aunt. But back to the story, I love Spider-Man. I ordered my tickets a while ago because I don't get a lot of free time and don't have much money. So, I saw Spider-Man late at night for the second time. My mom called me selfish and started crying because I didn't take Jack. And how I'm treating him wrong. She also told me she's going to take me off the car insurance, something I've been asking her to do, and put the car in my name, but I know she won't. My mom doesn't spend much time with Jack, except when she makes him go grocery shopping. She insists that no woman should carry heavy stuff like water or groceries when she has two males in the house. It's strange because she feels it's a bad thing to hang out with her son. She wants me to take her to see The Little Mermaid, which is weird because she never asks to hang out. Another thing is that my mom wants to take us on a cruise. I don't have to pay anything, but I have to watch my brother. It seems like a nightmare because my brother is girl crazy and might touch a girl if not watched closely. He got fired from his last job because of that. So, I told my mom that I'm good, and she and my brother can go while I take care of the dog. She got mad at me for saying no. I'm sorry if it's selfish, but I'm not Jack's parent, so I'm not thinking the same way my mom is. She had Jack when she was 18, and I'm 22 now, just starting to go out. Jack doesn't have anyone else, and I know his life is hard, but I don't want to be his caregiver for the rest of my life. Living with my brother is not easy. He has a food addiction, so I'm not allowed to bring a lot of food into the house. Also, he got this PRN addiction where he got to watch in the living room. And when he gets mad at mom, he starts breaking stuff. But I feel like he can control his anger because he doesn't do that to me. In the future, I do want to get married and have my own kids, if possible. I've been trying to start my own holiday traditions, but my mom gets mad when I try anything without him. I want to start my own life. Just like any other 22-year-old. My mom doesn't see that. All she sees is my brother and me. It feels like my life revolves solely around my brother. I'm planning to sign up for therapy after this. I have a lot of things to work on. I'm screwed. I'm not going to let my brother be homeless, by the way. I feel like people don't understand how hard it is to live with an autistic person. My rant is over. Thank you for reading this. Have a great day. Someone please tell me I'm doing the right thing. This morning my boyfriend got home from work and called me a B and a see you next Tuesday in front of our 1-year-old daughter because I was having an attitude. I was just being quiet and not bubbly in order to avoid stepping on a landmine because he was clearly in one of his mood swings. I admittedly may have huffed when he made a passive remark about me being bad at caring for her because she cried when I took her out of the kitchen upon his request. We share my car. I told him to get a ride to work tonight because I was taking her to my parents' house. I said I wouldn't tolerate being called those names. He said, "What do you even do? You do nothing." No. Your place. In reference to the fact I'm a stay-at-home mom. I told him my place was not with someone who treats me that way. He told me to ask myself if I was really being a B. I told him to ask himself if a good parent would call his partner that in front of their kid. This man can't clean up after himself to save his life. I keep our home sanitized and spotless nevertheless. I match my daughter's energy levels, play with her all day, fill our day with activities good for her development, cook her a clean and incredibly healthy diet, and if I've done anything right in this life, I'm a good mom. But the new mom brain fog has worn off, and with this new clarity, I have so much regret at my naivete. Today I'm taking her to my parents' house. They are willing to take me in. He doesn't have any time off left and said he won't get a ride. I don't care about losing our place. I don't care about him losing his job. I've realized only now that not only is he a misogynistic creep to the extreme, but he has also strategically kept me from advancing my education, and for that, It will be a long and difficult road ahead. But I will do anything for her. Please tell me this is right, or give me some better alternative. My head is spinning. Which is worse, the trauma of being separated from your father as a toddler, or having to watch your parents argue as he berates your mother? I don't know what to do. My older brother makes me feel so uncomfortable and my family doesn't care. My brother is 27M, and I am 19F. So as long as I can remember, my brother has always done things that make me feel uncomfortable and bad. It started when I was about 9 or 10, when he would say weird things like, if I wasn't your brother, I would marry you, or why are girls not like you when we get older? I need to marry you because you're so nice to me, and would say I was perfect and stuff. He would try to lay in my bed with me and stuff, but it always felt weird, and I would get so upset because he would never leave me alone, to the point where I would cry and cry. I would tell my parents, but they would say I was making it up for attention, and if they did talk to him, he would get mad at me and nothing would change. As I got older, he started to be more mean to me, and it got to a point where he wouldn't even talk to me, which I loved, but would be mean to me and my friends, even showing up to my middle school and making a scene just to embarrass me in front of my friends. When I told my parents, they again said I was overreacting or he was just trying to be a good brother. Now it's just horrible again. I'm 19 now, and they still won't believe me that he's been making my life a living hell since then. Always starting fights with me, even when I was underage, to the point where we would get into physical fights and my parents would just yell at me and tell me to stop bothering him. Here's the most recent stuff. When I first got a boyfriend, my brother cornered me in a room in the house when my parents were gone and asked if I had had sex before. I was disgusted and angry that he had the audacity to ask me anything like this, and I told him to move so I could leave. He started to yell and demand I tell him, only for him to clam down after a while and say, I knew you've been having sex. What does he make you do? Anything you don't want to? How was it? It was a horrible experience, and I just pushed past him and left. Once my parents got home, my dad didn't believe me, and my mom said it was horrible, but he's just looking out for me as a brother. He always gets mad when I spend time with my boyfriend and not him, and he always tries to guilt trip me into hanging out with him while my sister doesn't really care what I do. The thing that broke my sanity is that today I got dressed up to hang out with my friends in the city, and I was wearing a shirt with a lot of cleavage. Sadly, I have larger boobs, nothing I can do about it, and he went insane, asking if my boyfriend is okay with me wearing something like that and why would I wear something so revealing. I ignored him and went to sit in a room waiting for my boyfriend to pick me up so we could leave, only for my boyfriend to follow me into the room and yell loudly that he could see my nipple and areola and that I should change and that I was nasty and it's disgusting that he has to see that. You couldn't see anything when I sat down, and if my nipple popped out, I would know. I asked him why he cares and why he is looking at my boobs so much, and he didn't answer my question. He only went on to ask, who am I dressing like this for? And I said myself and my boyfriend since he likes what I wear. And my brother had the audacity to call my boyfriend nasty and other rude terms. I told my parents and my sister, and they just said he was looking out for me and I shouldn't be upset anymore and to let it go. So I told my boyfriend all this today, and he's quite upset with how my family and my brother treat me and how my brother would say such disrespectful things about me and him. My mom knows I told my boyfriend, and she is mad at me because it makes our family look bad and that I should keep things like this to myself in the future. I'm just so upset. Am I overreacting? Do normal brothers do this type of stuff? My boyfriend said he would never treat his sister like this and that my brother is a creep who may have a thing for me, and I am disgusted to my very core. I just wanted to have a nice outing with my friends, and now my mood has been ruined all day, but at least my boyfriend is nice to me and is on my side. I am never going on a trip with my girlfriend ever again. I, 22M, have a goal of going to all 50 states and last week I drove through Arizona and New Mexico. My girlfriend, 23F, has never been out of California and asked to tag along and I said sure. We have been together for almost a full year and I have been wondering what she's like on vacations and trips. I admittedly am not someone who will go on luxurious vacations. I will make sure I'm in a safe place, but I don't have a problem with sleeping in airports, bus stops, train stations, and libraries. This trip was nothing like that though. I found 2 days in hotels with 4 stars and one of them had complimentary breakfast. My girlfriend tagged along and complained for about 95% of the trip. She complained that my car was too small, the weather was too hot, the weather is too cold. We're staying at a Days Inn? Are there better places around? These bed sheets feel weird and the AC is too cold. This shower has a curtain? Yoo. I don't want to go to this restaurant, that restaurant looks weird, let's not eat there. This is the Grand Canyon? I thought it would be prettier. Albuquerque is ugly. Why did you want to go here? I don't want to go on a hike, I'll stay in the car. Any suggestion I gave was turned down. When I asked if she wanted to do something or go somewhere I barely received a response. She freaked out at a waitress because they made her order wrong and caused a scene. We went to the Grand Canyon and she didn't clean up her garbage when we had lunch and said it's the park ranger's job. By the time we got home I was completely exhausted. I dropped her off and drove back to my house without music just so I could enjoy a period of silence. This trip opened my eyes into what she can be like when she isn't 15 minutes away from our city. It was her first time out of state, but she barely displayed any signs of common decency towards people, and I ended up apologizing for her behavior multiple times. I should not have to apologize for my girlfriend's actions because she received bacon instead of sausage. I'm exhausted. I outed my sister to our parents. 3 years later she still doesn't talk to me. I posted this in another sub, but it got taken down. I want to say that I don't agree with what I've done in the past. I'm not that person anymore. Any advice or insight would be appreciated. Confession. My husband hates when I talk about this to him because he thinks I should be over it by now, but sometimes I need to talk about it. 3 years ago my sister came out to me as a lesbian. My reaction was pretty bad to say the least. At the time I was very involved in the Mormon church. I'm still a member, but I'm not as radical as I was before. I told my sister that I didn't want her around my kids anymore, and I needed to distance myself until I prayed about everything. In my mind, I needed direction from God on what to do in this situation. My sister cried, and begged me not to tell our parents. That same night I told our parents about what my sister told me. They were extremely angry, and confronted her. Things got much worse from there. My family was encouraged to distance ourselves from my sister by our bishop. Since my sister is an adult, pays her own bills, and lives in her own apartment, it was easy to avoid her. At the time I thought I did the right thing. It sounds stupid, but when she graduated from college a few months later it really hit me that I lost my sister. My family is the type of family to always attend big events for each other. We always go all out, so seeing my sister succeed in something she's worked hard with us sucked. I texted her, and apologized. I told her that I would like to have an open conversation if she was open to it, but she never responded. It's been 3 years, and my beliefs on the LGBT community has changed drastically. I now see how ignorant and brainwashed I was. I've reached out to my sister many times, but I never get a response. Last I heard she moved to a new state and works as an ICU nurse. Not a day goes by that I don't think about this. The guilt from this keeps me up at night. I cheated on my husband. I just have to tell it somebody. We're married for 25 years, and I was a saw wife and mother all through of it. We have 2 kids, 10F and 8 meters. I'm 44 and my husband is 52. I'm dependent on him in every way possible, and he abuses it. I get used to take out condom wrappers from his pockets before laundry, or his blatant lies of overtime and business trips. I always thought that I have my kids, and when they are adults, I can divorce him, and move back to my home country, or anywhere in Europe, so I was relatively happy. A year ago I got diagnosed with breast cancer, and I needed a double mastectomy. After the diagnosis, he refused even to touch me. After the mastectomy, he got even more disgusted. I wear a wig all the time, because he thinks I'm hilarious with my bald head. I met with Fran, 36F, in a support group half a year ago. She's a cancer survivor, and moved to this area recently. We became really good friends, with same interests. It was nice to have a friend, nice to have someone to chat, who knows what chemo feels like, and not just feeling sorry for me. A week ago my Phil died, and my husband took the kids in flight there last Tuesday. We had a big fight, because I couldn't go with them. He was angry at me, but I had a chemo treatment on Wednesday. I had a treatment every 3 weeks. Fran offered to take me to and from the hospital, and she insisted that she's helped me after and refused to leave. This was the first time someone helped me. Most of the time, we have a nanny to take care of the kids while I'm suffering and puking upstairs alone. And the first few hours after is hellish. She helped me change after I had an accident, held the bucket, tucked me in. She even took off my wig when I got sweaty, and told me that I'm beautiful without it. She stayed the night and cooked for me the next day. She constantly praised me and reassured me. She let me cry on her shoulder. At the evening she offered me a joint to help with my appetite. We had so much fun, laughed hard, watched a funny movie, and ate junk food. I made a joke about my expense, me being cut up, and she almost scolded to stop degrading myself. One thing led to another, and we made out in the living room, and I fell asleep on top of her. Actually she was the one who stopped me to do more, because I was under the influence. Friday she had to go back to her office, and in the first few hours, A was extremely happy. I felt beautiful. Desirable. But the adrenaline wore off, and now I can't even look in the mirror. I can't stop hating myself. I cling to my children. When day arrived at Sunday, I skipped the group meeting, and I'm avoiding Fran. I hate myself so much.